Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 AFL Early Ladder Predictions January edition. It's the time of the year. Players are training a house down. Let me repeat that. It's the time of the year and season that the players are training the house down. Everyone's doing their PBs. Everyone is dominating time trials. They're in elite form. They're out for a breakout season. They're at their best at 35 years of age. This is the best a youngster has ever provided at any football club ever. It's the time of everyone dominating, training against each other. Stop. Clubs, seriously. Oh, he's flying this. He's done better than any other preseason he's done before. This is why he's dominating, because he didn't have a preseason beforehand. Or he's had consecutive blah, 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 blah. Club, stop spilling out the same shit. Everyone's tearing the house down. Are you ever going to say someone's doing bad? Of course not. Just stop with this sucking up and going, PB this, PB that. Best out of the year. Best of the group. Blah, blah, blah. As I said, it's the time of the year. Players are training the house down and no one is failing. And every club will be undefeated all season, according to each club. They don't see where their losses are going to come. But I am going to tell you where your team is finishing. So let's start off with last place, in 18th place. In 18th place, I have the West Coast Eagles. Sorry to Eagles fans, but I don't see much improvement now. Harley Reid coming in is great, but you lost a hell of a lot of players throughout this period, and players retiring like Luke Shuey, Shannon Hearn, Nick Nanui, but you didn't really bring in much. So I have a bit of concerns of an Eagles fans. Hopefully the losses won't be as much. Hopefully they get those players back from injury. That'll be a key start. But a lot of those players that were injured this year, maybe McGovern and Barras, the rest of them are gone. Except for maybe Jamie Cripps and Liam Ryan as well. So you need improvement from within, but they need a lot more. And I feel Harley Reid is a great addition, clearly, but I feel they could have added differently there. So that's why I have them 18th. In 17th place, they also brought in a lot of players and draftees. It's the North Melbourne Football Club. A few players they brought in the trade period, questionable. You can figure out who I'm talking about. Their draft was really good. It should be when you have all those top 20 picks. Zane Dersma and Colby McKercher, just to name a few. So Riley Hardiman as well. Some good inclusions, but they're still going to be down the bottom. So I've got the Roos North Melbourne in 17th place. Now, this is where some people get controversial. Just relax, gents. It's only January. I will have my own edition, well, like brand new one, final one, like the week before the season starts, maybe days before even. And in 16th place, I have the Richmond Football Club. People going, oh, Scoops, come on, you hate Richmond. That's why you got them there. Bro, they've been on the decline for a fairly long time now, last few years. Hardwick knew he was burnt out. I've been telling you at the time, he wasn't burnt out. He knew he had the offer from Gold Coast. Dewey was there. Don't give me the shit that they didn't ask him at least. While he was coaching Richmond. He said yes. He knew Richmond were playing shit. He knew he was going to be pushed out. So he was smart and used the burnt out reason. He left. He had his holiday. And then once he officially said to the Suns, yep, I'll do it, Stewie Dew was packing. His bags were packing. And I think how they handled that was disgraceful, Gold Coast. Stewie Dew, really unprofessional. I mean, you can cry about it, but yeah. Anyway, Richmond, they're on the decline. Down, down. The Tigers are down. Get that reference? Down, down. The Tigers are down. Anyone that works at Coles will know that. Or just knows the Coles ad. Do they still do that ad? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Hey, Richmond. Tom Lynch coming back could help. And Tim Torano, and Martin. Who the hell else have they got? Like, if we're going to be fair dinkum for a second, Dylan Grimes is fine. Josh Kippiers would be a good young player. People say he didn't play last year at all. Yep, he'll be good in for sure. Not even being sarcastic, he will. But what else? Hopper is an average player for a 7-year deal. 7 years for Hopper and Taranto is still shit. No player in their right mind on every list right now is worth over 5 years. Unless your name is Gary Ablett Sr. or Jr. or someone like that, or Buddy Franklin in his prime, no one is worth that. Nah. Check Hopper and Taranto. Taranto, good player. Hopper, a fine mid. A fine mid. Not shit. He's not crap, but he's not an elite mid. He's not your top 10, 5 mid. That is just disgraceful. Embarrassing, really, if you're being brutally honest. I don't see no improvement from them. As I said, they're on the decline. They've been on the decline for years. Cochin's retired. Jack Rewalt's retired. Who the hell's in that forward line besides Tom Lynch? Noah Cumberland's probably the next best forward. That's probably saying much because he's not that great either. We're not in good form this year. Shai Bolton, what position is he playing? If he plays forward, they're lighter on in the midfield. If he plays midfield, they're lighter up forward. I don't see any improvement from the Tigers. I see a big decline. I could even argue, mount a case for them finishing last. That's how bad I think they'll go in 2024. In 15th place, again, some may say it's controversial, not as controversial as that one, but I am going in 15th place, the Bombers, Essendon. Now, again, people go, oh, you hate Essendon. Mate, 7,000 plus days, you haven't won a final, number one, okay? Number two, the team this year was shit. Brutally honest. And I know Essendon fans even had enough of it. They may hate the gag, but the gag will stay on until you break that drought. After that, once you win it, okay, gag's over. But the gag still continues because you still haven't won a final in over 7,000 plus days or whatever the hell it is. And that's just a fact of life. Yeah, it is. Can't say, oh, how many flags have you got? Nah. We're not talking about that. Stop diverting the subject. If we're going to talk about club history, then you can have your own arguments. But I'm not arguing about your club's history. I'm talking about the here and the now. I don't give a shit about 70 freaking years ago or a whole 150 club year history. I'm talking about right here, right now, 2024, not 1994. Okay? We're talking about 2024, not 1924. Okay? Now, let me talk to you. So, as I said, I don't see any improvement from them either. They're around the mark this year anyway. Now, they had a fantastic trade period. I'm going to give them that. Ben Mackay, Xavier Dersma. They brought in 4 players. Oh, that's right. My man, Gresh. Great inclusion. Todd Goldstein, Gresh, Dersma, and Ben Mackay. They nailed it. And they didn't need to trade for 3 of those 4. And the one they did for Xavier Dersma, they got rid of Brandon Zerk-Thatcher, who's a hack. Sorry. Look, nothing against Brandon. Nothing against him at all. I just don't think he's a good AFL level player. Maybe good for the VFL, sure. But now in his case for the sample. And that's where he belongs. And Port will probably play him, which is saying much about what they think of their key defenders besides Leah. You got the cannon and Trent McKenzie anyway. We'll get to Port when we get to Port. Oh, Port's trade period, Jed's like 4 fringe players, please. Essendon did not bring in 4 fringe players. I think Goldie could end up being the number 1 ruck with Draper being injury prone as well. I love the addition of Goldie. He's for free. He's a free agent. Same with Gresh. Gresh is good. I hate that people during Gresh's entire St Kilda run said, not me, other people saying he's lazy, he's selfish, blah, blah, blah. No. He gives a shit. He puts his heart on his sleeve. I met Gresh a fair few times to know what a good person he is. And from afar, even at games, at St Kilda games, I would see him, how do I put it? So if I sit at the top level or wherever I'm sitting, fair away from the St Kilda race, and, pre-game, post-game, you see players high-five, take photos, sign things. Gresh is always doing that. So that's a credit to him and his character. Even people want to have a go at his character and commitment and everything. Piss off. Seriously. Question the other players that weren't doing that at any club. Question their character and their loyalty and their commitment to their fans. Gresh was good. Not only to me, but other people. So Gresh, and now people go, oh, what's he going to do with his on-field ability? He torched Caminiti once. Sure. And he cracked it then. You think none of your favourite players have done that? Get a grip. I think Gresh and Ben Mackay and Goldie and Dersma, the bow and arrow, man. Can't do it with one hand. I think they're great additions, but I just still don't see them as a team making much improvement. Could they get up to about 11th? Sure they can. But I've got to predict a spot, and someone's going to go in 15th, and that's the Bombers. In 14th place. Now, this team, a lot of people might have them around their 8th spot as one of the biggest improvements this year, and they did bloody improve at the back end of 2023, and that was the Hawks. Hawthorn I got in 14th place. I mean, you know what? I was looking at my ladder without saying the teams in front of them. I was looking at around 10th as the spot. I'm not going to put them in the 8. Could they make it? Yeah. I'd say maybe a 30% chance they could make the 8. But if they make it, I won't go, oh my God, no way. I'll be like, okay, they showed in the back end, they can prove it. But I want to temper their expectations. I think it might have been a bit of luck involved. They brought in some players in the trade period, the Hawks, including Jack Ginnivan, which I think could be a really good addition. Ginnivan will get a regular game at the Hawks in the forward line. You have to worry about being dropped, but that means you can't get complacent. Obviously, too, also while we're at it, we wish Sam Mitchell all the best. We've got Phenomia in America, so we wish Sammy Mitchell all the best. Hopefully he's all good. So yes, we've got Luke Bruce. Gunston's back. That reminds me, Jack Gunston's back. They lost Brandon Ryan to Brisbane. Yeah, so they've got some solid players in, the Hawks, but again, lower their expectations. Don't expect them to make the 8. In another year or two, yes, they might. But for now, I've got the Hawks in 14th. Now, in 13th place, again, people are going to go, oh, you don't like them, so that's what you're going to know. They can probably make the 8. Bro, they didn't make the 8 this year, and they're not making it again, and it's Geelong in 13th place. Now, I know some Geelong ones go, oh, mate, we knocked you out of the 8 finals contention in 2023, and you were showing signs of you guys declining, and you finished like 10th anyway. So I don't see any improvement, and I see those teams around you that I'm going to mention soon that are either just better than you or better than you, and you know it. What reference? Did you get that reference as well? Get all these references too throughout this video. So yeah, Geelong in 13th. I'm sorry, Geelong fans. That's really what I think. I don't see any improvement. You've had players retire. You brought in really no one. Drafted really well. But they're 18-year-olds, most of them, except for Sean Manor. So can't really expect too much. And everyone knows that Geelong plays players over 30 regularly. So I don't see any real improvement from them. They could stagnate. Could they make 8th at best? Maybe. I don't see it happening, though. And I see them in 13th place for now. In 12th place, aside that some people say, oh, you don't like them either. That's where you're going to move. Well, just be like Geelong. They're on a slight decline. They might slightly improve. They might stagnate where they are. And in 12th place, it's the Western Bulldogs. They stuffed their own season for them late in the year, losing the West Coast and Marvel, having some losses around that. I mean, yes, we know what a star-studded midfield they got, and they got Riley Sanders in the draft, another mid, a young gun, probably one of the best young mids in the draft in the men's competition this year for the Bulldogs. And all these other tall father sons, Jordan Croft, etc. How many tools do they want? That is not your problem. And most of these tall players they're getting, and have got in the last 4 years through the draft and father sons and academies and all that stuff, are key forwards. You need key defenders. Keith Gardner and anyone else as a key defender of the Bulldogs is no good. No. I would say their best player hasn't played a game yet, and that's Jed Buslinger from WA, who's on the Bulldogs list this year. He's probably their best key defender. That's saying something. That's how highly I rate him, but how bad those other options are. So, besides that midfield, they haven't got much else for them. and Norton and Waitman up forward. And will Tim English leave at the end of the year? That is still a big question. He's holding off his contract talks at the moment. Will he leave? That's one to keep an eye on. And Norton, where is he going to play? Does he have to go back? That could be something that Bevo has to look at. Because Bevo's coaching job is on the line, and really, he should have been gone already. But anyway, kind of getting off topic. In 11th position, I have the team that was robbed of finals this year. In 11th place, the Adelaide Crows. They said apparently they were going to get an easier fixture. Well, they didn't say it, but that's what it was indicated. And they didn't really get that. I see them, again, they could be a side that finishes 8th, but it'd be like Hawthorn, lower the expectations a little bit. I have the Crows in 11th place. In 10th place, a side that didn't finish this high in 2023, but they had a bad year, but they're better than what they showed. And in 10th place, I got the Fremantle Football Club, the Dockers. They'll give some more sides the old heave-ho this year. I do see some improvement. They could make the 8, and I think they can, and I was thinking about doing that. But because of their big drop-off last year, I know it could be a one-off, but I'm taking the safe option right now. See how their preseason form is. They lost some more key position players. Josh Corbett's out long-term again. Well, not again, but long-term. So pre-signing players, got a few players training on. Oh, by the way, when we get to Collingwood, they got 7 players training on with them, including Jack Bytel, the ex-Sainer. Safrandis as well from the VAFA leagues. Josh Eyre, I believe, is one as well, off the top of my head. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Campbell Hustlewade as well. Anyway, so we get to Collingwood when we get to Collingwood, whenever that is. You might be waiting a while, you might be waiting soon. Anyway, in 9th place, I got the Gold Coast Suns. A side that people are like, hard to exist, Scoops. They almost made it this year with Dewey. They'll get it with Dimmer. And they might. They very well might. But for now, I'm going to be 9th, which I'm pretty sure is what I had them last year, and they finished like 12th. So, I mean, Dimmer will help them for sure. But right now, I've got teams above them. So, 9th place, Gold Coast Suns. Will Ben King have his last year at the Gold Coast Suns and head to the Saints next year after, 2025. Come on, Kingy. We've been waiting. Join your brother Max. We're waiting. Patiently, Benny. Come on. 2025. King Twins at the Saints, please. And in 8th place, speaking of the Saints, it's my Saints, the St Kilda Football Club. All aboard the Saints train and all aboard the Filippo train. I think Mateus going to have another good year. People are like saying, he didn't have the greatest year. I think he did, thank you very much. He played every game. He played the final. And he was bloody consistent as a good player this year. Did he have 30 disposal games? No. Doesn't need to. Some players are more damaging having 15 disposals and a couple of goals than some average midfielder getting 28 possessions with like 50% efficiency and like 8 turnovers and 150 metres gained. You know, and Brad Crouch is someone who got highly disrespected for a very long time. In fact, both brothers, Crouch brothers, Matt from the Crows, you know, he was on the crossroads and now they signed him, I think it was a 2-year deal off the top of my head, late in the trade period, or during the trade period, I think it was late in the season for the Crows. He bloody well deserved Matt Crouch. And Brad had a career breakout year. Now, I know he wanted to be there for the Crows before he left. Been at the Saints for 3 or so years now. 4. This will be his 4th year at the Saints, I think. I think he came in 2020. So, you know, bloody underrated. I love Brad Crouch. He's a good player. Very underrated. Is he the A grade is in the top 5 player of the comp? No, but neither is 99% of the competition. Brad is definitely in that category just below the top names. People are going to go, yeah, that's ridiculous. No, it's not. You're ridiculous for not thinking that. Underrated player. I think he averaged 29 disposals or something this year. He gained his efficiency up. He gained his meters gained up. He's a tackling machine. Brad Crouch won to watch in 2024, along with his brother, Matt Crouch, at the Crows, who did really well. And both of them got roasted for their ball use and their lack of attacking play, and probably like their possessions mean nothing. Not what I said, what so-called the expert said. But yeah, so I got my Saints in 8th, and if Kingy and Membry and Caminiti and Sharman and Owens and Higgins and Butler, Lance Collard now as well up forward. So yeah, and will we see The breakout debut season for Ari Schoenmaker. That's steal of this year's AFL draft period at pick 62, I think it was. It was predicted around 20. The steal of the draft. The booming left foot kick and the longest kick in the draft. Who participated in the longest kick comp for Fox Footy? Ari Schoenmaker. In 7th place. Now, this is, some might say controversial, but I feel a lot of people are going to start doing this. In 7th place, you got the Melbourne Football Club. I was seriously considering not putting them in the 8, but I just did, and I was actually going to do it. But for now, I've got them in. Obviously, got the Oliver stuff, and I'm not going to talk about that itself. Hopefully, wish Clayton all the best, but I think that stuff, no matter what comes of it, is distracting them. I think you can kind of see the club's getting frustrated with external noise and everything like that. Simon Goodwin and Gary Pert did an interview with Gary Lyon and Sam Edmund in November or December before they went on a holiday, and it's still getting talked about now, the Oliver staff, and I think Max Gorn's getting frustrated about it. I just think the club doesn't look happy about it in terms of the external noise and everything. I don't know. I just think this could play as a factor to drop. They were slightly dropping. They went out in straight sets again. Sorry, Demons fans. But I still think they make the 8. They could make top 4 again. Absolutely. But right now, I've got them in 7th place. And Tom Fullerton was someone they brought in the trade period. I don't know about that bring in. That was a bit of a surprise. Came out of nowhere, left field, that one. In 6th place, I got the Sydney Swans, slightly improving two spots from last year. I think Taylor Adams and Brodie Grundy are 2 amazing additions. The Swans done freaking well as well. Caden Cleary in the draft. So I think the Swans will be on the rise slightly again. They could finish as high as 4th or 5th. I got them in 6th. In 5th place, I got Carlton in 5th place. People were like, some people have them in top 4. I'm like, maybe. But temper your expectation. No Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay, Paddy Cripps, Sam Walsh, Adam Chera, Jacob Wiedering, Adam Sard, Sam Doherty. Good bloody list they got. Blakey Acres. Don't break their achy, breaky heart. I hope you just understand. Yes, I know, there's another reference. But yeah, Carlton, I got them in 5th. They could easily make the top 4, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, probably the biggest shock of my ladder prediction in 4th place. You're probably wondering why the hell I haven't mentioned this side, because I'm about to mention them now. In the 4th place, it's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. GWS, Giants. What an improvement they had. I had them making the 8. I said from round 4 in 2023, I said beware the Giants, and I got laughed at. I was saying it week in and week out. Players were injured, suspended. Lockie Whitfield, Toby Green were players missing games from time to time. Lockie Whitfield, and they did freaking well. Tom Green missed a game or 2 here and there. I know, because I had him in Supercoach. But no, this is the year of the Giants. 2024 is the year of the GWS Giants. Finn Callahan in that midfield as well. Toby Green, Brent Daniels, Toby Bedford had an improvement this year. Jesse Hogan, Jake Riccardi. The Riccardi party is on in 2024. Got a 4-year extension or something like that. He did 3 years. And Whitfield and their defence, Nick Haynes, who didn't get a game much this year. He was a sub affair, especially in the back end of the year and then in the final against us. They made it to the prelim against the Pies. They were also close, so close to winning that game as well. But in 4th place, yes, beware the Giants. And Kieran Briggs had a terrific breakout season for him. When he didn't start the year in the team, Matt Fling did, who's now at the Eagles, obviously. In 3rd place, I was going to drop this side out of the top 4 and towards the bottom half of the 8. But I don't see any other side really jumping. Now, they don't really do well in finals, but in the home and away season, they pretty much do. And it's the Port Adelaide Football Club. Connor Rosie's the new captain, so congratulations to the new skipper in Connor Rosie. Tom Jonas obviously retired. In the trade period, as I mentioned earlier, they brought in 4 players: Ivan Soldo, Jordan Swee, Brandon Zuck-Thatcher, and Asava Ratagalia. Now, why do I think those decisions weren't good? They weren't. 4 sample level players. Soldo was playing VFL at Richmond. Jordan Sweet had a career at Footscray in the VFL. Brandon Dirk Thatcher was the whipping boy at Essendon. People didn't want him in the team, even when he was, and he played some VFL. Then he played 50 games in his VFL career while an AFL as a player. What's that show? And then Asava Radigalia. Nothing against the bloke. Never met Asava, never had any communication with him. I have nothing against him personally, but I don't see what Ken and the Port Adelaide Football Club see in Asava Radigalia. Chris Scott can bullshit all he likes, saying, "Oh, we rate Sav so highly, blah, blah, blah." Mate, you didn't rate shit. Asava, you say you rated him. That's a load of shit. You do not. Number one, you only made him stay there before when he wanted to go to Port. It's the contract bullshit. And you guys like playing tough and rough and being nasty and think you're cool. Well, I'll tell you what, some people say, not me, but someone says, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. You get that reference as well. And that's what you did to Port Adelaide. And Port Adelaide finally got their man. And I mean, a good thing for Port, at least, is showing they have dedication to Asava to want him again, and Asava wanting to own a Port. Good luck to him. Hope it works. But I don't think it will. Alira Lee's a gun defender. Great defender, Alira Leah. I rate Trent McKenzie, the cannon, more than people do. I think he's good enough to play. But yeah, overall, though, Dixon, can he stay injury-free? He's a key for them this year. Ruckman, who the hell is he going to be? Lysette retired. It's going to be one of Jordan Sweet or Ivan Soldo. Heck, you might as well play Dante Visentini over those two. I know they won't. Oh, heaven forbid if they play two of those three together. Oh, good God. Jeremy Finlayson is a better ruck than Jordan Sweet, Dante Visentini, and Ivan Soldo. Don't believe me. Go watch that final series that Finlayson had as a ruck. Or go watch some games he played last year as a ruck. He did bloody good. I mean, could you get away with it all? You can probably not. You can pinch hit a game here and there with Van Soldo. Or Jordan Sweet because he's had better VFL form. But like, come on. Heck, you could play Dante. How Dante had his debut game was still amazing. Anyway, I'm dreaming this. It's meant to be a ladder prediction, not a freaking opinionated video. But anyway, look at what I want. It's my channel, right? Yeah, we can. Oh, by the way, everyone, acknowledge me, the one. Acknowledge me. And I will acknowledge this. In second place, the Brisbane Lions made the grand final against Collingwood. Did well. They're going to be up there again, plain and simple. The Lions in second place. And in first place, I have the Collingwood Football Club. Now, they won the grand final. So automatically, they're in the top four, top two even. The only way you could say and have an argument to say they'll drop, like you could have them say maybe fourth, and I might cop that. If you have Collingwood outside of your top four, you're taking the piss. Because the only way you could do that is if they lost like 5 places in that premiership team, and they didn't. De Goey's still there. McStay's unfortunately on his ACL, but he didn't play in the granny. They lost Ginnivan, but everyone else is basically there. So, yeah, I've got the Pies in first place. Now, I'm going to get the banner off for a second and show you the graphic. So, let's get that up right here, right now. So, there you go. This 2024 Scoops AFL early January ladder predictions. In 18th place, the Eagles, 17th the Roos, 16 Tigers, 15 Essendon, 14 Hawks, 13 Geelong, 12 Western Bulldogs, 11 Adelaide, 10 Fremantle, 9 Gold Coast, 8 St Kilda, 7 Melbourne, 6 Sydney, 5 Carlton, 4 GWS, 3 Port Adelaide, 2 Brisbane, and 1 the Collingwood Football Club. So thank you all very much for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot. Be more AFL and AFLW content to come. There's no break for me. I have an exciting project next month. That's your tease for right now. No details around it. You might get more hints closer to the time. Big project planned in February. Go Saints and acknowledge me the one. And the project is big. Whoa. It's big. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Go Saints.